My name is Adriana Garza, and I am a cast member of The Art of Being, as well as the creator, producer, and director. The Art of Being came to be because I'd been in Los Angeles for 10 years as a working actor, and I had been working a lot primarily in the Spanish market because I'm fluent in Spanish, and I would continuously go out for auditions in the English market to play a Latina. And after 10 years, I became really frustrated because every character that I would go in for required an accent. And a lot of the times the feedback to my agents or managers was that I wasn't Latin enough or ethnic enough, which to me personally was quite really hard to believe because I'm full-blooded Mexican-American. Both my parents are from Monterrey in Chihuahua, Mexico, and fluent in the language. And so to me it was kind of ironic because I kept thinking, here I am Mexican, so you can't technically tell me that I'm not what I am. And when you're driven by a passion and what you want to do is act and you're not able to get work, it drives you really to that point where you want to create something and do something so that you can continue to feed your soul with what it is that you love the most. So I had written a monologue about judgment, and I had been really concerned with the situation, not only as far as my career in the English market as a Latina, but also with humanity and how we isolate ourselves from one another, especially in a town that's as competitive as Los Angeles, and how our choices, with our own choices, we manage to just kind of keep away from each other. And that kept coming up. And at the beginning of this year, I had the monologue already written. I was just sitting on it waiting to do the show, and one of my commercials got, the spot got canned, so it wasn't going to air at all, and another one was put on hold, and that culminated in a lot of frustration for me as far as not having work in the English market, not being able to get work in the English market, having to work in the Spanish market, and not even having it air. And so I decided that I was going to go full force with this project called The Art of Being, and I wanted these 10 actors to come in and write a monologue based on their perception of themselves, because this frustration with constantly being requested to talk like this had caused me to really want to see people for themselves and really want to give people the opportunity to speak from their true being and their perception of themselves. And in the process, what my idea was that the audience would come in and sit down and identify with someone, one or two, because being human, you know, you're going to have qualities in other people that you are identifying with. That's why characters are written and based on people, because basically at the end of the day, it's about humanity. The tagline that I chose for the show was basically to bridge the gap of loneliness and humanity, because I do see that, unfortunately, when you're driven by a passion and so focused and determined to get somewhere in your career, you kind of are forced to make choices like keeping yourself away from your family, isolating yourself from others, you know, to pursue your dream.
There were a lot of things I could have chosen for the subject of my monologue. One of the things that really stood out was my appearance, because a lot of people say I have a unique appearance, especially my big hair. My hair and my look kind of confuses people because a lot of people like to think that I'm one ethnicity versus another, and this is something that was kind of a struggle for me as a kid growing up, because I never was able to fit in with the black crowd or the Hispanic crowd or the white crowd. I'm mixed, I'm a little bit of everything, but I never quite fit in with everyone. So I kind of decided to choose my monologue as who am I and how do people perceive me.
Ever since I was a little kid, I was always kind of a little odd. I was a girly little boy, didn't really fit in with a lot of the boys, got made fun of, teased a lot. And I grew up in Texas, and where it's very like, you must be straight, masculine, all-American, play sports, and date a girl, or you're a freak. And that wasn't me at all. I always kind of felt different. And I've always just kind of felt inadequate and different because of my femininity and my homosexuality. Shocking, I know. And I oftentimes feel like I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. I relate to girls. I've always had friends that are girls, and I feel like a woman a lot of times, and it's been very hard throughout my life feeling this way on the inside and wanting to be that, but I'm a man and I have to dress like a man, and it's just kind of weird. It's kind of been something that has always been there and very in my mind, and I'm learning to accept it and deal with it. And so I decided to write it down on paper, and although I was scared of turning people off or alienating people by my story or what I'm saying, I decided to just share it and say it because it's true and it's happening, and maybe through my story or talking about it, somebody else who's feeling the same way might be like, oh yeah, me too, okay, I'm gonna be verbal about mine or something.
Being in the art of being was really important to me because I had never performed my own work, and my writing is I have a new love affair with something that I was extremely self-conscious about. I always hated exchanging work in school. I was very embarrassed of my writing, and I think it's because I wouldn't use my own voice. I wrote what I thought people wanted to hear and what sounded smart. And when I got out of college, I just started writing to my friends through my voice, through email, and then I just couldn't stop writing. And now to have a venue for it and have it be my first performance since I moved to Los Angeles, it was an amazing opportunity.
Size issues are hugely like one of my passions, I'd say. I honestly feel like a lot of people put their lives on hold and for this magical moment when they're no longer the way that they are, and I think that's totally foolish. And I'm not saying that you should not look to change, but I am saying that you shouldn't think that you're not allowed to be happy in your current state. I think that's a waste of time.
It was fun. I enjoyed the people I worked with. You don't get to meet a lot of nice people out in LA, so it was a good change of pace that we were able to get along very well during the whole process, and that was probably one of the most beneficial things that it brought to me, as well as being able to work in the theater again, as well as being able to stress the creative muscle and basically write my own material and go out on stage and do my own thing.
Being out here in California, which I find is very different from where I'm originally from, Chicago, where there's a lot more cold shoulders. It showed me that there's hope as far as bringing back humanity, being a community among the arts, because especially in the entertainment business, that's when you're being picked at and people are telling you who you are not, and when doing this show where it was like, oh, just be yourself and that's okay, and express who you are, and to get a response from the audience where it was like, oh wow, that was so amazing, and you're like, oh well, that really happened, or I just felt that it was a really good experience as far as being who you are, sharing that with other people, and that general appreciation for it.
I need love, love's divine.
Everybody has their own story. I've got one of those. Everyone has their own being and their own personality that they would bring to the table.
Like, nothing gets me more excited than having something that I feel is important and sharing it with somebody.
I just love the experience.
I feel as though we don't appreciate being ourselves anymore.
It's authentic, genuine truth.
There's always that thrill that you get when you're on stage and you're sharing the experience alongside other artistic people, and it's just a fun, creative, non-judgmental, open-minded, creative atmosphere. It was just really great.
It's just getting back to who we are as people and being comfortable with that.
That sense of identification through all these vehicles.
All of that culminating together brought the art of being to life, and I was blessed with 10 unbelievable storytellers who all told their story about their being through their eyes, and that's how it all came to be.